Hello, I'd like to talk to you today about Eileen and the grit bin. Now, a lot has been written about the impact of austerity, and some respected commentators are saying that by 2031 demand for adult care will consume most of the council's budget, leaving nothing for things like libraries, street cleaning, refuse collection, roads and buses. And at present, through prudent management, the council has protected its services, but there are some very tough choices on the horizon. So how can we do more and increase resources in times of austerity? Well, let's meet Eileen and Bill. Here's Eileen. Eileen's 87. She lives in her own home with support from her family and neighbours who lend a hand with gardening, shopping, transport and gritting her path when it gets icy. And here's Bill. And Bill was diagnosed with dementia in 2007. He lives at home with support from his wife Carolyn, and he goes to the Forget-Me-Not Centre twice a week, and this gives Carolyn the break she needs to help her keep going. And this is important because Bill and Eileen are able to live independently with help from relatives, neighbours and volunteers, and they don't depend on the council. And actually most social care, and some people estimate as much as 70% of social care, is provided freely in this way at no cost to the state. And this is called social capital. So by increasing social capital, we can reduce demand for public expenditure. And how can we do that? Well, we've already seen a lot of examples of social capital at work in Wiltshire. There are 300 volunteers now trained and working in Wiltshire's library, enhancing services and saving around £500,000 every year. And we have 300 volunteers now operating community speed watch schemes, reducing speeds and saving lives right across the county. And without the volunteers, we could not provide these services. But this is only the tip of the iceberg. And communities are leading the way right across the county. And there are some fantastic community-led projects here in Wiltshire. We've got first responder schemes, job clubs, stroke clubs, sports clubs, local history groups, farmers markets, cooperatives, play groups, arts groups, youth clubs, and we've got memory cafes, link schemes, car clubs, lorry watch, flood wardens, neighbourhood watch, street pastors, village halls, community choirs, almshouses, and of course we've got many, many more. And these are volunteer-led services. And let's just take a look at one of these initiatives, the Shurston Footpath Group. Now, the Footpath Group looks after the paths in the village of Shurston. They've written a guide, and the local doctor is now prescribing the walks for people with high blood pressure. And in Westbury, we've got the Crosspoint Centre. It's a voluntary group providing daycare support and advice for some of the most vulnerable members of the local community. And this really does matter. These voluntary groups raise their own money and they don't rely on public funding. And the things they do really work. With support and encouragement, communities can start up and run their own successful projects, just like the ones we've just seen. And this, of course, this increases social capital and drives down demand for public resources. And we need to push this much further. And this involves community building. And we can really help by linking up community groups, bringing people together, sharing information and lending a helping hand. And we can showcase some of these great projects, and this will inspire others to give it a go in their own community. And we can connect those who run successful projects with those who want to start their own. And some people call this asset-based community development. So perhaps it's time to connect with our communities. councillors, parish councils, local groups and partners, we can all help to make this happen. But we have to reach out beyond our meetings into communities at events, fairs, fetes, schools, shopping centres and places where people come together. And there we can showcase things that will inspire people to get involved. And we can get on and start that right now. And savings this year will be invested in a pop-up HQ so that we can get out into the community. We will work with WFCAP to get resources online to help people create new projects, and we will work with those who have set up inspiring projects and encourage them to help others follow the lead, so that we can help more people like Eileen and Bill. And this is all about transforming the way we think about services. But transforming services is not easy. It worked for the libraries, and we know it can work for other services. We have seen how delegating local highway services has improved decisions, delivered better schemes, and levered in extra funds. And it's time to press the accelerator and encourage our frontline services to embrace the change, so that we can help people do more for their neighbours. Thank you very much for listening.